In this video, I'm walking through step-by-step strategy cross-manufacturing could implement to start seeing better results from their organic and AI search strategy. First, what I want to do is look at a number of different things about the website in terms of market, keywords, optimization factors, things like that. And one of the big things that I'm seeing first is as we look at the homepage is optimized for cross-manufacturing. If I go here, do view page source here, and zoom this in, you can see here the title of their homepage here. We do title is right here, cross manufacturing, and that's fine. However, we're missing some opportunity here to build a broad understanding of the market and not just the company name. And you can see here, the description gets into it a little bit here, American made hydraulic components. And that is definitely something that I would recommend implementing is a title that is optimized and the description that is optimized. And the description is much better than the title, but we still have some room to improve the title here. Now, next thing then is as we look further at the site itself, and we go to the menu here and start looking at some of these other items here. If we look at hydraulics, this page here, again, is the title is just hydraulics, which is fine potentially, but as we dig into some of these other ones here, like cylinders, for example, the title on the page content here is cylinders. And if we do a page source here as well, this title is just cylinders. Now, from a general perspective, we are missing opportunity here for optimization. And what I mean by that is what we want to do when we're optimizing a website is leave very little up for interpretation and make it very clear what keyword or phrase we want to be known for and what we want to rank for. So in this case, something like hydraulic cylinder or hydraulic cylinders would be a better title to use, and making sure that that information is in the description here as well. The description is just quality, efficiency, and responsiveness to customers' needs are the primary goals of all cross-production plants. That doesn't tell search or AI what this page is about. Now, as a side note, we do have a little bit of content here, but there's still a big gap in terms of content that we should have from an optimization perspective to not only rank in organic, but rank in AI as well. And this same structure and same strategy is the same on every single one of these individual pages here. So this is something that I would highly recommend optimizing better to capture people who are looking for the keywords and phrases that you want to be known for. Next, as we look at this tool here called Ahrefs, there is a ton of different data in here, but a couple of the big gaps that I'm seeing here are with referring domains, DR, and of course traffic. As we look at the traffic and keyword growth over time is decreasing, which we never want to see in general. You're likely to see ups and downs and bounces and stuff like that, especially with major changes, new content, things like that. But overall, in general, we want to be moving in the right direction. So a couple things to look at here then would be keywords to see what keywords is cross-manufacturing ranking for, what keywords should they be ranking for, and what keywords can be improved, and then how. So first, if we look here at all keywords and phrases in all locations, actually, let's filter this down to just look at US. And then let's also look at intent. We want to primarily rank for commercial and transactional key phrases here, but we can also look at informational searches if we wanted to. But for the purpose of getting quick wins and revenue generating keywords, looking at commercial transactional type keywords are generally going to provide the most value from an ROI perspective. So if we look here, 678 keywords, I have this sorted right now by search volume per month. So 13,000 people every month type or search hydraulic cylinder. Now, as a side note, if we look at just hydraulic cylinder keywords here, and we go into this chart, you can see here now, any keyword or phrase that contains hydraulic cylinder, there are 13,033 different keywords, 91,000 searches per month, 205,000 global searches per month. The 91 is US based. And some of these terms wouldn't make much sense, but overall, there is a massive list of opportunity keywords here to build content around, either on an individual collection style page, like if we were to look at this hydraulic cylinders page here, and or to build in FAQ items to help rank in AI as well. And I'll explain more about that in a minute. So if we look back here at hydraulic cylinder, You can see here they're ranking number 50. So they're getting no traffic from this, from the 13,000 people who are typing this in. So if we look at search results here to see who's ranking and what they're doing, we can get a little bit of an idea as to what should be done. So first thing to look at here is, in general, we have this DR column. So DR is a domain rating, 0 to 100 scale, lets us know essentially how strong or how authoritative a website is. And you can see here, Magister HYD, not sure if that's the correct brand name, but whatever that is, you can see here DR 16, Premium Supply 26, Dalton Hydraulics 16, 27 for Hydraulic Cylinders Inc., and so on. And then we have down here cross manufacturing at 31. So in general, they're actually stronger than the top 2 ranking sites, than 4 of the top 5 aside from Wikipedia. So what else is going on? What other gaps do we have, and what should be done to help potentially rank for something like this? So if you look here, again, the title of the page here is just cylinders. If you look at all these other ones, hydraulic cylinders for sale, hydraulic cylinders, hydraulic cylinder, hydraulic cylinders, hydraulic cylinders. Every single one of these is better optimized for that key phrase, and that is very likely playing a massive role in rankings for this. Secondly, if we look here at this gap, domains, this is the number of unique referring domains pointing to this individual page. So we have 8 here for the Magister, 5, 266 for Wikipedia, 6, 181. And for cross, they have 4. So slight gap there, but in general, the domain is stronger. And then lastly, from a quick glance here, one of the other major gaps, as I just mentioned, is content. You can see here, Magister has almost 3,500 words of content here. Premium Supply only has 560. Dalton has 1,700. Hydraulic Cylinders, 2,200. And Cross here has 621. So huge gap there. And again, the purpose of having more content on the page is not just to have more content on the page. It's so that we can capture all of these, or as many of these as possible, in terms of getting more traffic for people who are looking for that term specifically, or very closely related terms, if it doesn't make sense to optimize a different page. And what I mean by that is, if you have a page that's dedicated to hydraulic cylinders, it would make sense to have all of the very closely related keywords within the content optimized on that page. However, if you have a specific service where you offer rebuild, or product where you offer rebuild kits, having an individual page optimized for rebuild kits would make sense as well. And then lastly, content on the page allows for you to also add in questions in an FAQ style structure. And the reason why this is so valuable is because this is what AI type searches are looking for in terms of how to get content and what should be ranking in those AI sections. And you can see here, 494 keywords, 4,500 searches per month, 6,600 global searches per month. And this is just the searches that this tool is tracking. We can go into much more detail about this as we look at different sections in the search engine. If we look at people also ask section, or other questions that people are asking, and also people are using voice search or other more sophisticated longer tail searches now, instead of just how to rebuild a hydraulic cylinder. They may type something like how to rebuild a hydraulic cylinder for a specific part or specific use case. And those are all searches that we could also potentially rank for if we're optimized well enough for that. Now, next thing to look at then, these are a couple other specific items. One would be structured data. And this is the official schema.org structured data test. So what we do here is we put, and the purpose of this, let me back up. Purpose of structured data is to have information into the back end or the code of the website that makes it very clear what properties, what information about the company exist, and make it very easy for any structured data scraping tool or source to get that information. And the opportunities here that we have would be to optimize corporation. So we would add in specific information about the company, including social media profiles and things like that. Website, all website information here. Place, so again, specific place here, which would be geo coordinates and any other location information, contact information, sales data, things like that. And when I say sales data, I mean like sales contact info. And making sure that all of this stuff is built out and structured correctly. Then we can also do this for products and other information within the site itself, blog post, authorship, things like that. So lots of room to improve the structured data as well. And then lastly, wanted to just talk a couple things about what in general I would recommend from an overall optimization standpoint. And this very high level strategy here, 2 recommendations. First would be build product and application specific pages. And this would be similar to the pages we have here. So this is related to cylinders. Secondly, would be working on application specific pages where we can have content about a specific application and how or what use case this tie rod cylinder would serve, or a welded cylinder. When would this be used? Things like that. The purpose of this is we would build additional depth and have intent matching pages so that we can rank better for those key phrases. But like I showed, if we look at this section here, again, the biggest bang for the buck, very likely for cross manufacturing, would be better optimizing individual page titles and descriptions and internal linking structure as well. And again, you can see here, every single one of these that is outranking them has hydraulic cylinders instead of just cylinders in the title. Huge, huge opportunity, big gap there. And then, like I mentioned, build product application specific pages. So these would be dedicated landing pages talking about the individual target key phrases that they want to rank for. And this would be, like I said, clear specs, sizing, things like that, all of that type of information on those pages, internal links to related products or categories, and then FAQs written in natural language. And like I mentioned, this is absolutely critical for helping to rank in AI. And then lastly here, optimizing for AI. And this is what I said with FAQs and structure, and then structured answers, clear factual sentences. So here's an example here. On the hydraulic control valves page, you would include something like a hydraulic control valve directs fluid flow to control the speed and direction of hydraulic cylinders or motors. Now, I'm not entirely sure if that's correct or not, but the point is making it understood that this is the specific definition for this question or this concern that somebody may have. And then creating information or knowledge hubs around all of these types of things. And the reason why this is so critical overall is because this is what could be done to help surface and rank better in AI and not just organic search. And that is how I would structure and optimize a site like Cross Manufacturing to make sure that not only are we optimized better for general or old school SEO, but also working to make sure that we're optimized for AI to rank in as many places as customers are searching so you can drive more traffic and generate more revenue. And that's it. Hope you got some value from this, and I'll see you on the next one.